Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Hilton Center of the Las Vegas Hilton Hotel. Presents Glory Hallelujah, a unification of the heavyweight championship of the world. This is the main event of the evening. 12 rounds of boxing for the unification of the heavyweight championship of the world. Introducing, in the blue corner, fighting out of Houston, Texas, with a professional record of 34 wins, no defeats, 29 KOs. He is the IBF Heavyweight Champion of the world, Tony TNT Tucker. And in the red corner, from Catskills, New York, he is undefeated in his professional career, 30 wins, no defeats, with 27 KOs. He is the WBA and WBC Heavyweight Champion of the world, Iron Mike Tyson.
Okay, now, here we go. Now, you've had your instructions in the dressing room. Any question, Mr. Tyson, the chief second. Let's get it on. Come on.
It's time for Tony Tucker now to walk the walk, or run the run, as it were. Takes. I was expecting Mike Tyson to jump right on Tony Tucker, try to frustrate Mike Tyson. But as he struck, good right hand by Tucker. That might have been the best shot that Mike Tyson. That uppercut blocked Mike Tyson. This may say something. Technically speaking, no one gave Tucker a Tyson. And we always felt that he was susceptible to take jabs. Mike Tyson stops by a punch. What happened then was the best thing to him. That's confidence. Another right hand. And another right hand by Tucker.
Come on. Come on.
That was confidence. Yeah, he said he likes being the underdog, even though it's the first time he's been one. Probably every time Mike reaches in, Tony comes with the right hand, a counter right hand. Another thing you have to say about Tucker is that he has James fought. Against Douglas, he fought a little bit better. And now we'll see what he can do against Sir.
Here we go.
Again, a right hand, but he took a right from Tyson. And particularly for Tucker. Well, Tony Tucker is a 10-1 underdog. He wasn't.
Right down in, that's where you're going to...
Uppercut almost immediately after the bell. He follows a right. Tyson really rocked back like that. Coach to look for the left hand. Now there's the right hand that landed high on the head of Spinks, sitting in the last row of the balcony here at this place. We'll show you a pick. Go to the body. Don't look for the one punch to the head. 4 punches together. And he's following up with left uppercut. Good. Because Mike is rocking left and right, left and right. Well, you know, Ray, I hearken back to your fight with Mark. First round actually can turn the tables around on a fighter. It gives him the confidence. As in fact, he's going 1, 2, 3. He's following up with the left hook. He's using his height, his reach. See what Kevin Rooney was telling him to do in the corner. Now, see, this is what Tucker let Tyson work that body. Tyson. That was a little bit low. Not telling him to jab to box. He's telling him to jab to get inside. What I want you to look for, a look of confidence in the face of Tony Tucker. He's kind of, he really wants to frustrate Mike Tyson. On the planet, he's the only one who has a chance to beat Mike Tyson tonight. And right now,
if you're doing that, keep your balance. When you punch him, walking.
Of the bleachers here, he went up there as a publicity stunt to get some. That was Bob Uecker sitting next to him. This is a punch inside. Now we need to see some jabs by Tucker and some lateral move coming in with his head.
Time, step back.
Playing very take charge as a referee. No nonsense guy. Tucker with another.
Body first, combination. All right, get off that neck, Tony. Get off that neck.
Corner. Catching Tyson on the way in. He's finished with the left hook, Barry. Allowing Tony Tucker to get that hook and that uppercut in. What's going on with coming in with his head? The uppercut. has been doing a tremendous in left hand, and that staggered Tony Tucker. Again, he's playing, but the fact of the matter is, frustration. It creates frustration in the fight.
Watch out, got two hands up. 7!
Agree at all, because Tony's been tying his man up. There was a good right hand by Tucker again. But
punch at a time, it makes you miss it, then he pops it at one time, you understand? You gotta use your jab. You gotta box. You understand me?
Ching Tyson on the way in with his long arms. And there I have Tucker winning 2 rounds, Tyson winning 1, Tucker ahead by. We start the 4th round. And in Tyson look for 1 punch. And that's where normally Tyson normally is not going to do it. Interestingly enough, it is Tony intensity in Tony Tucker. There was a big left hand by Tyson, and that was the one big thing he wanted. He wanted Tucker to stand there and exchange.
I want to sit back. All right, Tony.
As well as not, Tucker can withstand this type of pressure.
Get him up.
Tyson needs to use his jab to get in, because a lot of times he's lunging in. Tony Tucker's starting to work again. Here. There's a right hand again by Tyson, but 5 seconds left, round 4. Very competitive fight. So movement seems to be affecting Mike's punches, because he's not able to get. But every time that Tucker stands still, you notice a big left hook lands from Mike Tyson. Now he knows he just has to fight him, hit him, and if the
Open up. Concentrate more on that. You still got to jab with this guy. What you got to do is jab with him. You understand?
Okay.
Tyson is working closer into Tucker left, that he did throw right behind it. But Tyson's starting to double his punch up a little bit. Something that could become a factor that you never thought would have is the fact that this only thought that's sort of like making War and Peace from 1,200 pages to 1,000. Is that Tony Tucker initiated respect. He stood his ground. Good hand speed by Tony Tucker. Tyson got the better of that exchange. He stood right in front of him, and he said, what I'm going to do is I'm going to move and I'll be firing. I'm not sure about the 4th, but the first 3 rounds, exactly what he did. I noticed that a lead-off right. There's a left hook. I'm in front of Tony Tucker, and that's why Tony's able to get those punches off. Be less of a target. A right hand in Tucker and get him out of there. I think Tucker, on the other hand, is fighting some. There was a right hand by Tyson. Heard, ladies and gentlemen, is a Las Vegas cheer. Past the 5th round, and it was an even bet. You have won the bet.
Listen, don't get the guy to slow down a little bit. I got to hit him before I push him off. Don't let him push him off and attack him. You understand, man? More jabs, better intention, Brody.
Is winnable. Did you see that? It was in seconds out of the ring. The bell had rung. They were so excited about the prospect of a lot of people. Right hand by Tyson. Mike Tyson, and I think he's probably fought stronger fighters by pushing a man off. Right, Tyson.
Step back clean.
With him. The mistake Tyson's making, he's following Tucker around, moving to his right. And what Mike has to do is move to his left to cut. Because I didn't expect that much from him. But the fact of the matter is, Tyson looks right now like he's in it for the long haul here. And he took another right hand, got cute, and paid the gas too. I think his timing is not as good as yours.
Very good. You see, you hit him with the right hand. You got to do more of that. He's a difficult guy to fight. He's moving. Whenever you get close, he grabs that.
And here you see him use the left hand just as a way to get in, settle down. The great fighters don't go out looking for a quick knockout. The great fighters. And here's my scorecard so far. I have Tyson coming on in the last. He had at the start of the fight to establish himself. Doesn't seem to. You notice the movement of Tucker's really throwing Tyson off. Not allowing him.
Last 3 rounds has been effective in allowing him to get inside.
And we see Tucker trying to finish tense as he was in the first fight, has he, Ray, where he was just like Douglas. He appeared to be as loose throughout most of this fight.
No, he's very had a cramp in his left arm in the first round, and not actually formed. It was with from tenseness.
Also, I think in the back of the great fighter.
You know, another thing that I feel we should at least point out here is there was a rumor about Tucker's right hand that he
hit from a big man. Not in a heavyweight. They don't throw those kind of punches.
Once again, with Tyson, which brings the crowd alive.
Well, when you do that, and I know from experience, because we have to give Muhammad Ali a little credit for that tactic.
I don't think so, though.
He has been unable to get back what he had in the first 3 rounds of the fight.
Hold. Let him hold. Don't say that. Don't say that. Don't even think that.
Now there you see, he's pointing. That 7th round with Tony Tucker being animated on his, and it really affects a fighter, especially when the champion half works. But if you analyze it, though, actually he's doing what I did to Hagler. He's punching a little bit.
Over left hand.
Okay. He's talking for a long, long night.
In the middle of the last round, we talked about him throw the right hand in anger. Since the middle of the last round, I have noticed it.
This magnitude. When you're fighting, you really don't feel it because those adrenaline's flowing. And you
tape on the glove of Mike Tyson. They'll cut it off. Momentary timeout.
It doesn't seem like much. But right here, Tucker's being cool.
He seems to have gained control of the fight.
His knees seem to buckle just for a second.
Right hand up on the top of the head.
Trying to get a little meaner in here now.
Open all the time.
I found out, Bob, like you're doing. You're thinking you're looking like a champ. You're looking great.
Oh, you're not moving enough. Move your head, come in, get in there and punch out. You're not punching out at all.
The question for an athlete like Mike Tyson, can he end in style? Kevin Rooney.
Let him go, Tony. Get out!
You can hear Kevin Rooney yelling in the background. Get on him, he said.
To get inside and not be so stationary, because what's happened? He's very susceptible to the uppercuts.
There's a right hand by Tucker. That back tight.
Get him up, both of you. Come on.
That was a big left hand, but again, Tucker's
The direction that Tony Tucker's moving, it takes away the power of it.
Come on, baby.
right hand right above us by Tyson.
Let him go.
Left jab of Mike Tyson. There's the instinct for self-preservation has kicked in with Tucker.
Spit that out here. Here we go.
Unofficial judge, that's me. I did score the 8th round. He has to knock him down or stop him.
Break him real. Get him by surprise.
I think it's a little closer than that. But these last few round punches, or the percentage of punches that are landed, he has been the aggressor. Mike has not been able to land the kind of punch. Tony Tucker's right hand. Tyson continually putting pressure on Tucker now.
Come on.
Jab, then step. Like that. Blood jab, then step in. Get close. Now come. There it was. Now he's starting to cut the ring off. And work his way in.
And remember, it's a different kind of jab. It is a jab that is designed and off of you.
Tucker. And that height of Tony Tucker first. Tyson. Tucker starts it off with a few feeble words and
I want to see 5 punch combinations. He's throwing 1 punch at a time.
Showed that he had been throwing roughly 10 jabs and landing half. We've seen him before.
You got 2 rounds to go. You got 2 rounds to go. You're in good.
Tucker needs to do something dramatic. Will he try? This is when your body aches, your legs cramp, but you got to push. You got to push him out. This time it is the tape on the glove of Tony Tucker that comes loose. There's frustrations because of what Tucker's doing. Time is manned up. Look at the antics there. I mean, he's fighting his fight. He's doing his thing. What people say on the books or writing the books. Well, if nothing else, he's an opponents that haven't done that. Again, the voice you're hearing in the...
Come on, do it! Hey, go!
Just fighting a great fight.
Bring this thing over. Bring it.
Last
round.
This is a crucial round here.
Be so slow.
I don't know. You understand, man? I want to win this round big. You understand? Yeah. Get out there and do something with this fucking. I don't think so.
Becoming the unified heavyweight champion at the age of an effective victory. It was interesting to hear Kevin Rooney in the corner saying, with these judges, you never know. You won the title against Buster Douglas. I felt that he needed more experience to deal with Mike Tyson. That he wasn't so well with these so-called experts. I'm going to show you, and this is what he did tonight. And he has. Even if you lose, you have to take your head off to the guy. I mean, he's in there with a and a guy who wasn't in there just to survive. Responded saying he had the big hat, and while maybe he didn't have all the cattle, at least he had a couple of... Tucker says, no, I'm all right. Tyson finishing. And so is Tucker. Great finish. Feel pretty entertaining. It's over. Well, Tony Tucker talked the talk, and you never know how good an unbeaten fighter is. And an unbeaten fighter is... Conversation going on between the two. This seems of a friendly nature. Tony Tucker, very religious man, which we will put up in a moment. I have Tyson winning clearly. In terms of rounds, took the punch, he gathered himself, and after a few rounds of uncertainty, if he had to capsulize, and didn't let him land a lot of big punches, I think, from Tyson. And Tyson is not a one-punch puncher. He's a cumulative puncher.
Ladies and gentlemen, here is the decision. 119-111. And Judge Bill Graham scores 116. Mike Tyson.
Over Tony Tucker. Tony Tucker doesn't have to answer that question anymore. In a losing champion, are you happy with the way you fought tonight?
Not really, because I was trying my best
in the first round.
Yes, he did. He was a very hard puncher.
How did you gather yourself together around several rounds that...
And he was freezing every once in a while, and I would think I would get him with a good right hand.
All right, we want to take a look at that and just what happened, because
as you can see, I was
into this fight with the strategy of trying to come underneath you as you came in. What are your plans now? Everybody wants to know, are you going to fight Michael Spinks? Years from now.
I fight whoever my manager wants me to fight. You know, I'm just make mistakes. Can I tell you, you have no means to be happy. I'm a perfectionist. I want to be perfect.
What happened in the last round when he came out in some desperation and started to antics?
He was a little intimidating. He was trying to...
Hey, congratulations.
Thank you, Larry.
Undisputed champion, 21 years old.
I knew I was youngest heavyweight champion when I beat Berger. Thank you very much.
Okay, evaluate Mike Tyson's performance. Let me ask you not only how you would evaluate Mike Tyson's performance. That's why I respect the man so much, because he boxed, he clinched, he fought very strategic. Seems like he heeded that advice. You know, and I saw that in the makings as the rounds would progress because who threw 452, but Tyson's punches were more effective. And I think probably the most important thing about them, did so effectively enough to get inside and win a unanimous decision. Let's get back to the center of the ring now.
What happened after that? Why couldn't you follow up on it?
Well, you know, it wasn't no secret in the game. Mike Tyson is a young kid. He's what everyone thought I beat him. But that's okay. You know, the world knows, and I'm happy, that I'm here. But,
You've been in some time. We have a unified champion, and we have a challenge to fight Tyson in this tournament, or not to fight Tucker for his. This is why the fight won't be held right away. One of them obviously is. There's a lot of bad. And finally, third, the longer we wait, the bigger the build-up will be. Tour. And part of the courtship ritual is to take her to the fights every single week. And for the top. I had to be at this party. I'm glad I was at this party, although I would rather...
The Spinks-Tyson eventuality. And Ray, let me put you inside the head, if I can, of both Mike.
I think the public wants to see Michael Spinks and Mike Tyson go at it. It's that inevitable confrontation where it should happen.
Sooner or later, but in this case it appears it's going to be later. You know, the one question that let's say 6 or 7 fights ago, might have been very, very different.